comic book gurus? It's your boy Razor Comics, and it's Super Haul Sunday. Welcome back. We are having a very special day today. I have a couple of special guests that are going to be joining me on today's show. What's today's show, Razor? What's today all about? Great question. Well, let me talk to you about it. It is Super Haul Sunday, the best of the best of the best. Sir.
We're here because you're looking for the best of the best of the best, sir.
Now, I know that it's kind of hard to see me with the camouflage on, so I'm going to try to move around, man, because I know what I'm doing is I'm trying to blend into my surroundings. A couple of people that know about blending in their surroundings I have with me today, Chris, the comic vet, and CMS, the comic vet, are going to be joining me on today's show, hanging out, giving a salute to the veterans. That's right. Today's a special salute to the veterans. We want to thank you for the military service. Now, I know there's days that are set up, special days set aside, Veterans Day, Memorial Day, 4th of July, all that good stuff where we celebrate our veterans. We don't do enough celebrating of the veterans, period. These gentlemen took time out of their lives, put time, lives, sacrifice, all on the line for us to protect our civic duties, our life, our liberty. And today we're going to thank them for doing that in the only way that we know how, comic book style, baby. That's right. We're going to show off some books. We're going to talk about the love of the hobby. What brings us all together is comic books. What I do on this show is I show you my favorite comic book haulers, the people that I watch, the people that you need to know. Today we had a couple of veterans that I watched. We're going to get to them. Let's get the show on the road. Are you ready? Because I'm ready. Let's go then. Welcome back, comic book community. Thank you. Thank you for stopping by today. We got some people in the chat. Luis Mendoza, Rob Fat Stacks, Darth Lopez. Thank you for joining us today. Everybody's welcome. All are welcome.
All are welcome. All are welcome.
And of course, welcome to the show.
Welcome to the fucking show.
Now, without further ado, let me bring to the stage a couple of gentlemen who served military, who has actually been part of the military, veterans. They're part of the show today. They're the reason why we are here. First off, we have CMS making his first appearance for the first time here in Razor Comics. Thank you, sir, for joining us today. Also, we have Chris, the comic vet, another gentleman who served. Thank you, gentlemen, for serving and joining here today. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. I told you I don't get much love, so.
Hey, man, we're getting all the love here today. We appreciate you guys stopping by. We're chatting a little bit backstage with Chris and CMS. Today, all we're doing is just hanging out. People like to show off their comic books. This is what I do on Sunday. Like, I literally just chill with on Sunday. I'll put you guys on, like a comic book haul show. I'll get my bags and boards out, right? And I pretty much just put everything that I'm going to bag and board for the week. I have you guys on in the background. So all this show is dedicated is to that. Is to sharing with the people that I watch on Sundays. Because I think a lot of us watch haulers. Like a lot of us like to watch people that shoot haul videos. And CMS, he's one of them. Chris is another one. And both you gentlemen are two of the gentlemen that I actually watch. It's not, I don't have you on the show because I want to, it's veterans and I want to have you on. I actually follow you gentlemen. I watch Chris's videos pretty much all the time when he drops them. And CMS, I know you only drop a video every once in a while. Like maybe, was it once a month?
Yeah, once a month. Unless I got something else to talk about, got to drop something else. But yeah, once a month.
Once a month, man, and it's a great video. So we're going to show the actual website for the gentlemen, so that way you guys can sub them up. You guys know what we're talking about. But I just want to spend a little bit of time first before we pull up an actual haul video, just discussing with these gentlemen their service. I really don't know too much. I'll be honest with you first about Chris, the comic vet, because I'm not familiar with the Canadian side. Can you tell us, sir, what part of the Canadian branch of military did you serve and how long?
Sure. So I joined when I was 18. I was fresh out of high school. Because I grew up in a single parent home, the money wasn't necessarily there to go to the university that I hoped for. So I had a friend that had just recently joined the Army, and they basically said, look, they're willing to subsidize a university education for you. You just got to do time in lieu. And so I went down to the recruiting office and spoke to the sergeant at the time, who explained that I'd be joining an armored Army branch that would be based out of Toronto. So filled out the application, went through everything, and then went at a much later time to go through the medical and the physical testing and everything. And thankfully, I was able to pass. I didn't have anything in my urine at the time,
I got a funny story about that.
and I was graciously accepted into the Canadian Armed Forces at that point. And then the next 9 or 10 months of my life became both shattering and a period of time for heavy conviction. Quickly find out that you got to check your ego at the door, and you got to let them mold you into the person that they feel is fit to represent not only the division that I was assigned to, but the Canadian Armed Forces as well, and to a larger extent, the UN. The Canadian military at the time was heavily participating in UN peacekeeping and peacemaking periods across the planet, especially focused in around the Mediterranean at the time, and Northern Africa. So after that, after that grueling period of time, I was then assigned to my trade and did a lot of trading sector specific to weaponry, when it came to handheld, to shoulder held, to fixing and repairing large SMG and then large MG, when it comes to the stuff that my unit was operating, basically Cougars, Labs, and that kind of thing way back in the day. But yeah, that's just a Cole's note thing. Cliff notes for Americans type of thing when it comes to my step in towards the Canadian Armed Forces and the division that I was assigned to, in the trade that I was ended up fortunate enough to be accepted into. It wasn't one that was heavily pushed upon soldiers. So when you join the military, I know Steve can explain, can get into this, that you actually do an IQ test as well. And that particular morning, whatever, I was lucky enough to have a couple cups of coffee into me, so I could
not today, but yeah,
just willy nilly filling in bubbles, kind of thing, like you would in grade 9 math, kind of thing. But
yeah.
I was fortunate enough to become a weapon technician, which was a pretty cool trade to be affiliated with back in those days. I'm not sure what it would be now, 25 years later, but it was something that I was very proud of, and really helped mold who I am today. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. SKG and all the guns that you mentioned, I only know about them from Call of Duty. Like, that's the only way. I'm like, yeah, I know that gun. I remember that from Call of Duty. That is a badass rifle. Thank you, sir. I appreciate your service, man. Thank you, man. Thank you for sharing. CMS, my guy, and I want to get to you because I know you have limited time. Quickly, well, not quickly, because I don't want to. I know whatever you got to get off. If you have to leave, please jump off. I don't want to cut into your day. I want to appreciate you. Thank you for stopping by. So I don't want to say, hey, quickly, but if you can just break us down, if you can let us know, how long have you served, and what part of the branches of government military did you serve in?
So I'm from Detroit, Michigan, and my father and grandfather, they were both in the Air Force. So when I graduated, it wasn't a big deal for me to go to the military, but I wanted to be a Marine. So I joined the Marines. I graduated a year early at 17. I joined the Marines, and I was a radio telegraph operator. So I'm the guy with the radio calling in for the airstrikes and all of that kind of stuff. So
got the voice for it. Yeah.
Well, you know, like you was talking about backstage, the uniform and all the prestige of being a Marine. So, but after that 4 years, it was like I haven't traveled much, and I knew the Air Force does a lot of traveling, you know, across the world. And I knew once you do the basic training in the Marines, you don't have to do basic training in any other branch. So after those 4 years, I joined the Air Force, and in the Air Force, I was a B-52 crew chief. So wherever my plane went, I went. Now the crew chief is the head mechanic of the plane, and when you watch the movies and he's doing all this and all this for the plane to the pilots and talking on the, that's what the crew chief does. And I stayed in the Air Force. So the Marines was 4 years. I stayed in the Air Force active duty for 12 years. And then I got out and I was in the Air Force reserves for another 2 years. And then once I graduated from the Ohio State University, I was done. I used my GI Bill and everything, and I was done. And I pretty much got out, and that's it. But thankfully, you know, I've been collecting since the 70s. And I'm not one of those stories where my parents threw all my books away because they knew I collected. So my books stayed up in the attics, still in the bags and boards and the boxes and everything. So, you know, and that's how I'm able to still have over 160 long boxes now, you know. And that's pretty much my story.
That's an amazing story, bro. You're like, yeah, quick, I got you, Razor. Nice, man. Ohio is amazing state, bro. I went there when I was 12 years old to visit the Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio. The most memorable experience I ever have in my life. It's the first time I've ever learned, because I'm from the hood, man. Phoenix, Arizona. People always make, you're from the hood. Yeah, from the hood, legit. I didn't know that there's a such thing as fireflies. I read about them, seen them on TV. But when I went to Ohio for the first, I was one of those kids that, because I'm from the city, right? So I saw fireflies for the first time outside, you know, like by a lake or some shit, you know, because it's in Ohio. It's crazy. And I never seen fireflies for the first, me and my sister tripped out, bro. We were like, what the hell's going on outside? They're like, oh, those are the fireflies. We're like, what? So we ran outside and we grabbed, you know, like the jars, and we caught fireflies, man. For the first time in my life, I caught some fireflies. We tripped out, man. I've never experienced fireflies. You know, this was something new to me growing up. And Ohio was like just, you know, I loved Ohio, man. Football Hall of Fame, it's football country, just the atmosphere, shooting off fireworks, fireflies and shit. It's got that whole Midwest. Like, I loved it out there. So shout out Ohio, man, and fireflies. I'm sorry.
I was just saying, you could always learn something when you travel, because believe it or not, me being from Detroit, I didn't even know what a real taco was until I went to Arizona, because we always had Taco Bell and stuff like that, you know. So when I went, my friend was showing me what a real taco was, and it's not like that taco. It's nothing like that Taco Bell stuff that we have in Michigan. So you learn a lot, you know. You learn a lot when you travel, you know.
Yeah, exactly. We got people stopping by, so make sure we shout them out. Matt Spidey, thank you for stopping by, my guy. Welcome to the show. We appreciate you. Darth Lopez as well. Welcome to the show, my guys. We really do appreciate you stopping by. And let's make sure that we do this properly.
Welcome to the fucking show.
Darth Lopez, shout out UCLA out of nowhere, but okay. And he wants to thank you for your service. Yes, thank you guys definitely for your service. We appreciate both you gentlemen. Absolutely. That's what today's all about. The Collector P stopping by. What to do, my guy? Thank you. We appreciate you. Lord of Brooklyn, BK for life. Black Order Rise.
All right. I got you. He knows what that is.
Oh, man. That's
Welcome
awesome.
to the fucking show.
We're having fun today, guys. We're hanging out with Chris, the comic vet. CMS, the comic vet. I promise I'll get it right before the end of the show. Derek Neiman stopping by. He is a moderator. He's definitely one of the top moderators and one of the gurus. Welcome. Minot? I don't understand. What am I missing here? Minot? I don't know. UCLA? Yep, got that. Good BK to see. All right, we're all caught up, I think, with the chat. Thank you, everybody, for stopping by. What we're going to do is we're actually going to show a video that we're going to view from one of the comic book haulers. So what I do is I like to show the channel and what I'm watching, right? One of the channels that I watch is this gentleman here, CMS Comic Vet. I'm going to show you this channel. Let me bring this to the stage. Right now, my guy only has 433 subs, but again, he doesn't really give a shit about that. So if you want to sub him up, awesome. It doesn't really matter. To me, I would appreciate it because it kind of shows support for your boy Razor. I show support for those who support me. So even though my guy really doesn't give a shit about the YouTube or the subs, it shows love by showing support to me if you guys sub him up. So I would appreciate that. Now, this is a specific comic book haul video that was made just for today's show. So we're going to play it now because I don't want to take too much of my guy's time. CMS Comic Vet, he's a busy man. He has a lot he's got to get to. So we're going to play this video. You can follow his channel at CMS Comic Vet, and you can watch a lot of cool haul videos. He drops them usually once a month. They're really entertaining. They're really fun. I'll quit talking and just play it. You ready? Let's get this going. What to do, Kung Fu Gurus? You ready? Because I'm ready. Skodan.
Okay. My no FOMO book is Daredevil number 69. The first appearance of Angela Del Toro as the White Tiger. CMS. So the Purple Yoda says her first appearance is in this book. But if you read, you know that Angela first appears in Daredevil number 58. And she got the amulet in number 68. And in 69, she puts the necklace around her neck and becomes the White Tiger. And Daredevil trains her on how to become a hero. But she operates as a vigilante in all black because she didn't have a costume yet. But she got her costume in White Tiger number 1, her first solo series. Or I'ma smack that ass up. Back that ass up. Or I'ma smack that ass up.
That's it? All right. Oh,
what's up, everybody out there? This is going for my man Razor. I appreciate you inviting me to even show some books off on your live stream. So the first book I'm going to show is Transformers number 1. This is the first Transformers comic book, as you all know. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 300, the first appearance of Venom. And this is Hulk 162. This is the first Wendigo appearance. And this is Strange Tales 159, the first appearance of Contessa Val. She's all throughout the movies. Submariner number 1. This is his first solo series, Namor the Submariner. And this is Blue Beetle number 1, the first appearance of the Question.
I need that one.
Malibu Sun number 13. This is the first appearance of the Small Man. Hold on, I can't do this. Stop the show.
Hold up.
Yeah. This is what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? I gotta do what I do. And I can't sit there being corny, showing off books, putting you all to sleep. So Razor, you wanted me? You gotta take everything. We gonna go like this. You know what I'm saying? Check, baby, 1, 2, 3, 4. Check, baby, 1, 2, 3. Check, baby, 1, 2. Check, baby, 1. What's up, everybody out there? It's your boy, CMS. And I'm back at you with music and fun. And if you're not careful, you might learn something before it's done. Today, it's going to be a little bit different because I'm doing this for Razor Comics, y'all, because he contacted me and asked me to be on one of his live streams because he's doing a show for the vets. But y'all know, I don't be all over YouTube. And I ain't trying to be popular all on people's live streams, going for the corny awards. I'm going to do what I do. All I want to do is zoom, in a boom, boom. All I want to do is zoom, in a boom, boom. Everybody say, oh, yeah. This is Fantastic Four number 2, the first appearance of the Skrulls. Fantastic Four number 5, this is the first Doctor Doom appearance. Fantastic Four 48, the first appearance of the Silver Surfer. Fantastic Four 49, that's the first appearance of Galactus. And of course, I got number 50, that's the first Silver Surfer solo cover. And this is Silver Surfer number 1, his first solo series. Thor 165, the first appearance of Adam Warlock. And AF-15, y'all already know what this is. Ain't no arguing in a Pterodon. All I wanna do is in a boom, boom. All I wanna do is in a boom, boom. All I wanna do is in a boom, all I wanna do is in a boom. All I wanna do is in a boom, boom. Break it down. This is Fear 19, the first appearance of Howard the Duck.
Yes.
And this is Hulk 180 and 181, and y'all already know what this is. DC presents number 26, the first Starfire and Cyborg. Amazing Spider-Man 121 and 122, the deaths of the Green Goblin and Captain Stacy. And this is Daredevil number 168, the first appearance of Elektra. Teen Titans number 2, the first Deathstroke, the Terminator. And Marvel Spotlight number 5, the first Ghost Rider. And this is X-Men 101, when Jean Grey becomes the Phoenix, the
Phoenix. The Phoenix.
All I wanna do is do my zoom, 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 and a boom, boom. All I wanna do is do my zoom, 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 and a boom, boom.
Clap your hands, y'all.
All I wanna do is do my zoom, 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 and a boom,
Put your hands together. All I wanna do is do my zoom, 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 and a boom, boom. Cause I'm a bit different. Cause I don't care anything about these tear-down gurus. I ain't gonna kiss the Yoda's ass, giving y'all bad information, talking about the White Tiger first appearance in this book. Now I got a question. If this is her first appearance, then where's her origin? Because the truth is, Daredevil 69 is her origin and first appearance. Because you can't have an origin that's not a first appearance. Purple Yoda be lying to his sheep, talking about his inside source, saying Marvel uses him for a reference. And he's not the end-all, be-all guru for the comic books.
Hell no.
So this is Alf number 48, the newsstand, a controversial cover. And this is ASM 238, the first appearance of the Hobgoblin.
Oh, good.
New Mutants 98, newsstand, the first appearance of Deadpool. And Amazing Spider-Man 316, the first cover appearance of Venom. All I wanna do is zoom, 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 and a boom, boom.
all I wanna do is do my zoom, 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 and a boom, boom. All I wanna do is do my zoom. All I wanna do is do my zoom. All I wanna do is do my zoom, 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 and a boom, boom.
I'm gonna show some slides. This is something that's killing the children, the A cover and the 6th print. Spawn 174, the first appearance of Gunslinger Spawn. New Agents of Atlas, number 1, the 1 and 50. And Strange Academy, number 1, the 1 and 50. So before I leave, I gotta give a shout out to Synthetic Panels. Check his channel out. And 666 Comics, subscribe to him as well. But I want to give a shout out to my guy from the beginning, Funhouse Comics, MK in the house. And on that note, thanks for coming out. God bless and good night.
Amazing. That deserves definitely the round of applause right there, gentlemen. That was just simply amazing.
I didn't think you.
Is that awesome or what?
Good job, man. Good job.
That's an opener and a closer, right, Chris?
Mhm.
Appreciate it.
I can't be following that, but
I can't be following that.
no, man,
You know what? I was gonna leave it towards the end. I even told CMS like, "Hey, man, I want to leave it towards the end." But I was like, if I have CMS on, like, I don't know how much long he's gonna be on.
It's all good, man. It's all good.
Do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's like that's
Like
fire, right?
man, like we all got time. We all got time for Rump Shaker.
We all got time for a rump shaker.
All we want to do is zoom. Yeah, you know.
Hey, man, that's all we want to do sometimes. A little zoom and zoom zoom. You know what I mean? Shout out. Amazing job, bro. Yeah, always shout out Mike. That was awesome, man. And then it's cool how he gives love at the end. Like, it's not just about him in the video. Like, shouts out other small channels, big panels. I know him. AI, that's my guy. He did the intro for both of this both intros. The other two gentlemen, I'm definitely going to check out. But I think that's what this is all about, guys. It's not about just showing off or here, look at me. It's just kind of promoting other people in the community that's doing the same thing that we're all doing, which is just showing off our comic books, man. Except that CMS just does it a lot doper than we do.
It's all about the books, though. Ain't no stars in this game. It's all about the books.
Bro, I don't know how you even like you do it where you mix the music with the video, and then you have the sound effects, with the voice, how it echoes.
Mhm.
I don't know. That's amazing to me, bro. Like, that hands down amazing, because I don't even know where to even start. How do you accomplish something like that? So don't tell us. That's your secret.
I just know I have to have the music to talk because it's pretty corny, like you see at the beginning. But once the music kicks in, it's easier for me to just say what I'm gonna say.
That was perfect too, because at
better.
first I was doing that too. I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be cool." He's walking through it. He's telling us about the books, and then all of a sudden, like, the record's like, "No, I can't do this." The music kicks in, and you're like, "Yeah, this is it.
Yeah,
this is the
that's
video
me.
I'm used to."
Only can do what I do. Do what I'm gonna do. So
Yeah, thanks for sharing, man. I appreciate that. Awesome video, and that's what it's all about. Next up is my guy, the comic vet. He does haul videos as well. Usually does want to. Do you have a schedule, Chris, or is it just whenever you feel like I want to drop a haul video? Because it seems like the last couple days you've been pumping them out.
It's not to sound like a complete douchebag, but if the creative juices aren't flowing, I'm not producing stuff that often. But when they are, you try and tap into it the best you can.
Yeah, exactly. The comic vet is at 2.7 K subscribers. So do me a huge favor, guys. If you support the show, give him a like, give him a subscribe. I assume that everybody follows each other in this comic community, which is absolutely wrong of me to do. So when I'm on the show, I want to make sure I take time out to say, hey, man, please, sub up my guy, because I don't know if you guys are or not. And if you're not, I appreciate it if you do sub him up. He does fun things over there with him, Rob's Fat Stacks on the Only Slab show. Amazing things. The haul videos are fun. This one is I spent how much. Hush finally returns. Spider titles, giveaway update, cover of the week. I like Chris's Comic Vets videos because they're entertaining. I'll be honest with you guys. The only reason why I watch certain individuals is because they're entertaining. That's why we have CMS on. That's why I'm talking with Chris. Unless you're entertaining or have some type of value when you're doing your haul video, it's hard to bring people in. With Chris, he has a certain style where it doesn't matter. He could be inside of his car. He could be on his wall right here where there's nothing behind him. The charisma and the personality that he has is what attracted me to his video. Very well spoken. He can sit there. He can show you the books, tells you why he's purchasing books and what he's reading. And that's what's important to me. I'm really interested in why you have your books. A lot of people like to just show off their books. One, boom, 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 boom. Here's my books. Here's my books. I want to know why you have your books, or if you're providing something like CMS, giving you some spec talk, some things that you probably didn't know about Daredevil and other issues. With Chris, same issue, right? He'll show you his books, why he's picking them up, what's hot about them, why he likes them. And I've been watching him for a while. He's one of the first actual haulers that I started watching because I just enjoy watching people show off their comic books. He does it in a style that that's engaging and that you want to keep following him. So even though that you don't people watch haul videos and they're looking for like these huge mega hauls, like $1,000 haul video or huge grail, those are all big videos and they come out every once in a while. But for the love of the hobby, if you really love the hobby, you're probably picking up books every, once a week, new comic book day or what have you. To make that interesting, it's kind of hard to do. Chris does an amazing job of doing it. And here we're watching the I Spent How Much. Hush finally returns. And I'll be honest with you, the new Hush book, I wasn't big on. I thought that was kind of a hit and miss. What was your? I haven't watched this video yet, Chris. I don't know what your take is on. But what was your take on the Hush, the new Hush attempt, I should say?
So this particular video that I do, it's my haul video right just outside my LCS that I have a pretty good relationship with the owner. So it's basically I pay for my stuff. I literally just hop in my car and I hit the record button and I talk about why this book is still on my pull or brand new titles that are there. Most of these books, 99.5% of the time, I haven't even been through yet. So basically I'll talk about the previous issue, where the arc is, the creative team, if I'm enjoying it, that kind of thing. Or if I'm just a sucker for punishment, I'm only picking this up because I'm a hardcore fan. And it's been absolute just fucking trash for the last 2 volumes. Hello, Amazing Spider-Man. But yeah, but to answer your question about Hush, about reviews and stuff, that's not something that I've really gotten into when it comes to the world of YouTube. There are other channels that have a much better style. They can communicate much more fluently than what I can when it comes to enjoying a title. I'm pretty much black or white when it comes to talking about a book, if I enjoy it or not. When it comes to what you're talking about, Hush, I'm kind of like you. I'm in the middle of the road when it comes to it. But because I trust the creative team, I am going to kind of tough it out a little bit and see where it goes. Not every issue or first issue of an arc represents the story particularly well.
Right.
But that's how I feel about Hush as well. But these videos here, they are what I like to call just easier content, because all I'm doing is just talking about books, why they're on my list, and then talking a little bit about the channel memberships and what I'm going to be giving away, kind of thing, and where I am with a particular book, or if this particular issue here, if it doesn't grab me anymore, I'm just done with this nonsense, and I try to be honest that way. But when it comes to comic books, I'm sure both of you would agree with me, especially when it comes to new comic book day. You got to be careful with your money, because if you're not careful, you can go down a $200 or $300 rabbit hole just going crazy about sexy covers, even though the interior story or the artwork is just absolute trash, just trash. Hello, Amazing Spider-Man. But that's why I like to point out, like, this particular cover here. It's just, I felt it was great. The cover artist I wasn't that familiar with, so I decided to spotlight it and just call it my cover of the week. And that's what these videos, this particular video that I make consistently, that's what that's about. It's just, this is why I'm picking this up. I still participate in New Comic Book Day. I still love this great American medium, and let's be honest, that's one of the handful of things that this entire planet can agree on. America gave us this wonderful medium of comic books. Yeah. And I get it's easy right now to talk about politics and that kind of thing and bash certain things or subjugate certain things positively this way. But this medium is a wonderful thing that the United States blessed us all with. And it's one thing that I'm really proud of participating in, is week by week going out and picking up these titles and telling people why I'm part of it. And if it's not your cup of tea, that's fine. It's not overly produced, as you can tell. I just zoom in and out, and I'm just sitting in my car because, hey, I like the audio that's inside, or I like the acoustics that my car can provide, and that's why I do this. I'm so excited about that. That's the truth of it. This stuff brings out the kid in me. Like, going to the comic shop brings out the kid in me, and that's why I still enjoy the damn medium, because it gives me that relationship with the kid that's inside of me, where I'm going out still picking out comic books, stuff that I did when I was 8, 9, 10, even 14, 15 years old. And yeah, that's again, it's just me on Wednesdays dropping the video on Thursdays. Yeah.
Is there anybody when you're shooting this video in the parking lot, is there anybody that's walking by the car looking in like, what the fuck is this guy doing in here? Hey, numbnuts, hurry up, man. We're trying to park right here.
What's that white guy doing in there now? Yeah, that's no, to be honest, I got pretty dark tint on my car, and the videos are basically, I'm basically in and out in between 7 and 9 minutes, just to catch the algorithm properly. And again, I like to spotlight my LCS, because the owner is actually very kind, often gives free books to me. Like, he'll send me, he'll grab a number one that's an independent and say, hey, Chris, this might be up your avenue. So, and if I enjoy it, well, then I'll be like, all right, put me down for the next 3 or 4 issues, or if it's a limited series, put me down for the entire limited series. As a thank you, I will pick these up, full price, whatever it is, and we'll go forward that way. And that's actually how I found out about one of my favorite reads of the last couple of years, Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees. That was a terrific series that he gave me the first issue for, that once I went through it, I just couldn't stop talking about it, trying to tell as many people that love New Comic Book Day, hey, pick this up. This story is just incredible. This could be the next We Live as a great independent. Like, don't miss out on this. And it's not spec. It's just, hey, we got ourselves a great story. And to be honest, a lot of the stuff that we read is just fluff. How often do you get a truly great story where you're hooked in, kind of like a soap opera? And to me, Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees was that. I think Ray actually reached out to you and said, hey, man, pick up this fucking series. It's pretty damn good.
Yeah,
and,
I did.
But yeah, that was.
I heard Disney's gonna make it into a live action.
Yeah. yeah. Beneath the Trees Where No One Sees, brought to you by the House of the Mouse. Or yeah. That's pretty good. Yeah.
Good stuff, man. Yeah, I always wondered, like, because see, at Phoenix, I go to the comic shop Sunrise. It's kind of small, and there's not a whole lot of parking, so we're always trying to kind of jockey for parking. And if I would have seen this shit happening for the last 45 minutes while I'm waiting,
No one's
I'm like,
actually
hey, bro.
no one's come up and like tapped on the window and said, "Hey, what are you doing?" or anything. But I tell you, there's been a lot of times I've had people drive a little too close and just kind of stare at me like, "Fuck's that guy doing?" But yeah, no, I've never had a point where someone comes up and just like knocks, like, "Dude, what are you doing?" kind of thing. But I have had like fire trucks go by and ambulances go by where I'm just like, well, I've just lost 10 seconds of decent audio there because that stuff is just deafening. But yeah, it's some people, when it comes to this YouTube pigeonhole that we're all a part of, and I know, see, you can probably attest to this, a lot of people just kind of carve out their niche when it comes to what they want to talk about. And for me, I enjoy the new aspect of the American medium by participating in New Comic Book Day. And that's kind of what my channel has evolved into outside of opening packs and stuff like that, and boxes and mystery boxes. And then once in a while, I'll talk about, the high value haul, stuff like that. I'm more of the, hey, I want to talk about New Comic Book Day and why I'm picking up the titles that I am. Whereas some people are all about mystery box openings. Or some people are all about, showing high value books that's been a part of their life or stuff that they just picked up. No, I like to participate in that kind of stuff sometimes, but this and the live stream, that's basically the foundation of what my channel's become.
Yeah, and you've created a community as well where people come on Wednesdays for the show us what you got, north or south. And I noticed that the last show, because I do lurk, I don't participate too much in the chat, and that's just I don't do that a lot with a lot of shows, but I do watch. And I noticed that this week's I think it went up from 50 to 75. So I'm interested to see how the next coming weeks are going to change with the increase in tariffs, to see if maybe that north or south start to go up a little bit higher for New Comic Book Day, because it's always interesting to see who was able to go underneath. And spoiler alert, not a whole lot of people go under.
It's true. I kind of base. So what Ray is talking about is my New Comic Book Day live stream. Show us what you got, which is an open invitation for anyone in the community. If you want to come on and show books that you just picked up for New Comic Book Day, or books that you just picked up that are part of your PC that you're proud of, ask for the link and I'll send it to you, and I'll give you the forum to come out and talk about it. And people that are on the panel will give you a lot of oohs and ohs, because a lot of stuff that people show are incredible books. But when it comes to north or south, that's just a little fun that I like to have, because a lot of the people that show up are ones that participate in New Comic Book Day. Now, we have some weeks that are heavier than others when it comes to big books that are being released, i.e. we have a Batman week, i.e. then we have a multiple Spider title week or stuff like that, or it's a heavy independent week. And I just kind of base north or south off what I have spent. So if I'm in the neighborhood of spending $75, I'll kind of make north to south based off $75 and see where it goes from there. When it comes to the tariffs, from what I'm understanding, because most comic books are printed in Canada, for those that actually don't know, comic books are mainly printed out in Quebec.
The paper,
and
yeah.
They'll be subjugated to any American tariffs if comic books or paper, that kind of thing, are being subjugated that way. So it'll be mostly Americans that feel that pinch versus Canadians at first. Now, Canadians then would have to feel trade paperbacks and omnibuses. Those things are generally printed down in the United States. But the New Comic Book Day books, when it comes to ratios, foils, and all that kind of thing, are generally printed north of the border, just because the Canadian dollar doesn't have that same value that American dollar does. That's why. So we'll see how it plays out with north or south, but I try not to get too political with my channel, just because I have a great deal of respect and love for the United States as a whole. And the last thing I want is anyone on my channel to come on and subjugate the United States or Canada the way that I don't want to hear it. So I generally don't talk about politics on my channel, just because there's such deep admiration that I have for the United States. Some may or may not know that I actually have a mailbox on the other side of the border, which I visit all the time, because, hey, when I travel, I generally choose to travel to the United States. There's a lot of people on the panel that you're looking at here that I've been in way more states than what they ever have been. I think I've probably been in more than half the states in the union at this point now. So
More than I've been.
when it comes to tariff talk, I generally just shy away, because the last thing I want is for someone who leans left or right or middle of the road feel like all of a sudden now we're moving away from the subject, and that the subject is that, hey, we're here to support small business across the planet by picking up comic books, which is the great American medium.
Right. Yeah, I feel you. But it is going to hurt if the price does go up.
Right.
So, yeah, no, definitely want to keep it positive and not political, because that's what your show's about. And you do create that great community where people come, hang out, and share new comic book day experiences, new comic book day books. I am not a new comic book day person. I'll be honest with you. I've stopped going to the shop. I'm not a Wednesday warrior, as I call it. No disrespect. I mean, that's people love to go pick up their new comic book day and spend $50, $100 a week. Hey, shout out to you. I don't have that kind of income to be a new comic book day guy. I just don't have it. I can't afford to drop $100, and I don't have the ability to say, well, I'm only going to pick up Batman or Spider-Man. I don't have that ability to walk into a comic shop and only get 2, 3, 4 titles instead of $30, $40 budget. So therefore, I don't do new comic book day. But I will watch some of the shows, because I like to see, the sick covers, bro. I like to see what's out there, what's coming out. It keeps me informed what's going on in the comic book world. That I still like to watch the shows. Doesn't mean I don't like new comic book day. It's just, it means that I'm not a new comic book day guy. I'm not going to drop the money. Not only that, but I'll be honest with you, a lot of the books that come out on new comic book day, when everybody's showing off their books, I pick those books up usually a week later or 2 weeks later on Whatnot and other platforms for half the price, maybe even $1 or $2. It's ridiculous. So if I wait, like my guy CMS says, no FOMO, right? Hashtag no FOMO, which is what I've learned to have. I can wait and pick up those same 1 in 10s, 1 in 25s, 1 in 50s for dollars, literally dollars. I've seen live stream shows where people have pallets of exclusives and they're selling them for $1. So I've learned that I don't need to be a new comic book day guy. I can wait. I don't have to have FOMO. Not to say that that's, if that's what you like to do, that's cool. But one thing that I have noticed, Chris, a lot of time is what people are doing is that they like to go to new comic book day, not because they want to learn about the stories or pick up sick covers. It's because of the communal experience. They want to be part of the community. So what they're doing is they're spending this money to pick up these comic books so that way they can share with their friends and show their friends, oh, look, I got that, this. So I get that aspect where it's a community and you want to hang out with your friends and kind of share. But to me, it's not worth the having to pay $100 just so I can hang out on new comic book day and share. Now, no disrespect. I love the show and I love watching it, but I'm just sharing with how I collect. Some people might not have the means to do $50, $100. And well, you don't have to, guys. You can wait. No FOMO. You can get those same books later on. I promise you, they do pop up for dollars, a couple dollars on the dollar. The experience is different. Going to the shop, that's an experience, which I have opinions on that about the experience that your LCS. But the experience is what you're basically paying for the new comic book day hangout. And to me, it's just not worth it money wise.
Yeah,
but other than that, I love the show. But I feel no FOMO, like my guy CMS says, is a good way to kind of save a little bit money for especially now. You know what I mean?
These books like $8. Sometimes they like $8 now, and I used to go get them for 40 cents and 35 cents. And if I hadn't been collecting so long, I don't know if I would even buy the new books anymore. But I've just been collecting so long that I'm used to it. But you're right, it's expensive. It's really expensive.
Yeah, exactly. Do you do new comic book day, CMS?
Yeah, I get my comics every week, but I do FOC order, so I get 20% off anyway. I just have to order mine 3 weeks before they come out. so I can order as many as I want or whatever issues I want, and then I just go pick them up from my store, from my LCS. At least that saves me
Yeah.
some money. And they come bagged and board at that store when you do that. So
Yeah,
but
yeah. That I mean, that's a good idea, especially if you want to try to save a little bit of money. FOC,
yeah,
I guess, is the way to go. Where a lot of people like to just show up at the shop and kind of like window, you know what I mean? They want to see what's out there
yeah.
at the shop without doing the FOC ahead of time, and that's where it gets pricey. Yeah,
It's expensive.
exactly.
These ratios, 1 in 100s and one per store, like that Mary Jane Venom book. You know, nobody cares that she's Venom, but people spending $50 and $60 for that book with her on the cover. You know, that one per store. So I don't know.
That's FOMO.
It's just crazy, but it is what it
Yeah.
is, right? Nothing I can do.
So
No
Yeah,
FOMO for
and
me.
that's what's fun about the community is that there's something for everybody. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Even though I'm not a new comic book day guy, I still like to watch the shows because I love to see the covers that are coming out and people showing their books and their excitement about the books and hanging out and that whole experience. And that's something that Chris, you did a great job of kind of creating that, that community, you and Rob Fat Stacks with that, hanging out and making sure it's positive and sharing your experience.
Mhm.
And kudos to you because it's fun when you are part of that community. My buddy Rob, Cheap Comic Collector, has something similar with his claim sales on the weekend, where it's not about new comic book day. Rather, it's about older books that we're trying to fill runs. And that community comes around and, they talk about their books and what they're picking up. So it's fun to see the different pockets of community, the new comic book day people, the people that collect older runs and their back stocks, the CGC. It's interesting. It's fun. And I think that's what's so great about this hobby is that you don't have to just be a slab guy or a raw guy, right? Or a new comic book day guy. There is something for you. If you're into indies, booby books, right? There's our guy S. Vaughn 82 that you can watch. So there's something for everybody in the community. And I think that's what makes this community so warm and inviting, where you pick up different people from all walks of life, right? Is because of that. Is because there is different pockets that you can go to. You don't have to feel like, oh, I got to go to the shop on Wednesday in order to hang out and make friends. You don't have to do that. If you want to pick up dollar books and be a dollar book guy, there's plenty of shows, plenty of communities that hang out and only show off their hauls of dollar books and talk about that. So everybody provides something that's special to the community. And that's why I wanted just to hang out and kind of showcase with you guys what we're doing. We are now pretty much wrapped up with the introduction part of the show, guys, and showing off the channel. I'm going to drop the link. If anybody wants to hang out, maybe got a question for this gentleman, or you want to show off a book yourself, be more than happy to. You got to be a friend of the show. Please be positive. Keep it, drama free. We're just hanging out today. It's Sunday. We're having a good time. Gentlemen, do you have anything that maybe an extra book or something that you brought that you want to share before I get started? Because I got a couple books I want to show off.
Oh, do you have a favorite, Razor? I was just wondering. Usually I send a AOK for the last guy who invited me on the live. So I know Chris likes Spider-Man. I'm Fantastic Four all the way. So since you really don't do new comic books, is there a favorite that you have? Like a favorite hero, a favorite?
Yes, on both fronts. So favorite hero. Let me show you right now. Great question. Great segue, man. You should be the new host instead of my guy George. George, we're replacing you with CMS. Great segue, CMS. Yes, I do have a favorite superhero that I'm going to share with you guys right now.
Ooh.
This is my favorite superhero. I know it's not, your typical Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, but this is my guy. This is Jaime Reyes' first appearance as Blue Beetle in the Blue Beetle costume. This is Infinite Crisis number 5. Beautiful cover. I think it's a Jim Lee or a Perez. I might be wrong. But this is my guy right here, my favorite superhero. It is Jaime Reyes, Blue Beetle. This is my guy. I actually never read the full run of this. I just finished it. It's an amazing read. I'll be honest with you, it's okay. I don't think it's great. There are some other reads that I thought were better. Anthony Luthor or Alex Luthor, where he's kind of colliding the Earths, was kind of hard and weird for me to kind of follow. But everything else was really good on how the story was, going back and forth, how Booster Gold was involved, how Blue Beetle came to be, how the Scarab pretty much chose him. And I enjoyed it. Very fun. And I know there's not a whole lot on Blue Beetle out there. There's not that much of Blue Beetle. But that's my guy, man. Jaime Reyes. I enjoyed the movie, George Lopez and the guy from Karate Kid in it. So yeah, I am a Jaime Reyes guy, but I also collect Love and Rockets. So I'm trying to fill any Love and Rockets run more specific. The very first volume, I have a lot of it filled. I'm missing number 2 through 13 and like the last one. But I'm a big Love and Rockets guy because I love the Los Bro Hernandez. But yeah, superhero is going to be Blue Beetle. Who's your favorite superhero, CMS? Who's your guy?
I have 4, the Fantastic Four. So I have every Fantastic Four book there ever was except issue number 1 and 4.
Holy shit,
So
that's a big run, man. There's a shit ton of Fantastic Four.
Every volume. So I'm Fantastic Four. Even their treasuries, anything Fantastic Four, that's me.
Isn't that like the largest volume of comic books? Like Fantastic Four, isn't it like the biggest? No, it's not. All right, I'm wrong. That's pretty big. It's a lot of them, though.
It's a lot. Spider-Man has a lot too. As far as Marvel, then you got Superman, the Action Comics, Batman. There's a lot.
Yeah.
Damn, man, that's a
So
how many long boxes of Fantastic Four do you have?
I don't have my boxes in order by title because I will be constantly having to move books back. So my box 1 is a box from like 1979. Box 2 might be from late 1979. So I'm on box like years. Yeah, I'm on box like 162. So that'll be this week's comic book. So, but I use CLZ. So I know which box which comic books are in. And since I'm one of the original users, I'm pretty much grandfathered in. I don't really have to pay for it because I was using it back when they first started. So that helps. When I was a kid, it was about index cards. Then it went to Excel files, but not to promote them. But the CLZ, that's by far the easiest way to keep track when you have a large collection to know where your books are at.
That's hardcore collected. From Excel, went from cards to Excel.
It's true.
Yep.
See, I'm not even that far yet, man. I got like 4 short boxes, and I get upset when I have to sell some shit because I'm looking through my short boxes. Like, man, I'm getting too many comic books. I gotta get rid of some of these comic books. Man.
Yep. You're looking for something to sell. So can you imagine having 160 boxes and then you sell something? Yeah, I got to know where that is. But I'm gonna start cutting back. I have too many. I've been collecting too long. It's time for me to start cutting back and getting rid of some of them.
I don't use CLZ Comics Embrace. You think I should maybe download that app to categorize my comic books, man? Can you take a picture like you can with Hip Comic? Like, can you just pick, or do you have to?
You scan the cover of the book, or you scan the barcode, and then it gets put into your personal index. I think it's like $2.99 a month. And it's a great resource for, say, for example, if you have a creator that's going to be showing up to a comic shop and you want to know, hey, do I have any books that this creator's worked on? All you have to do is just type that creator's name into CLZ, and it will tell you which books you actually own. And if you categorize it, like what C is saying, if you categorize it into specific areas of your collection, then you'll know exactly where to go to get that book.
Wow. Okay. Gotcha. All right. Because I use Hip Comic. Like, that's the first one I ever downloaded just so I can scan a book and be like, okay, well, what's, quick overview if it's a key or not, or maybe it's worth something. That's what I use, and kind of it saves it after you scan it in your app so that you can go back and search by key or by title. Yep. So is it kind of similar to Hip Comic?
Yep. Sounds very similar.
Yeah, and that probably will work too. But it's just the CLZ was around then. I don't think it was a Hip Comic when I started using CLZ all those years ago. So that's probably the only reason I'm with CLZ, because it was the only one available back then. Before it was even an app in this website thing. It was just a desk. You got the disk and you downloaded the program on your computer, and it was just a computer software program.
Yeah, because the Hip Comic is free. I mean, I don't have to pay anything for that.
That's the way. Yep. That's the way.
I have 3 books I want to share while we have everybody here. This is going to be part of the giveaway. It's not complete yet. I'm going to shoot a separate video. Hopefully, I get to work with Synthetic Panels. I reached out to him. We're going to try to put something together funny for the video. But I'm going to show about 3 books. It's not complete. There's going to be another book that's on its way that I'm going to include as part of the giveaway, and about 2 more books that I'm trying to include. So it's not the complete giveaway, but let me show you guys what we're going to be working with on April 20th. Really quick, this is X-Men #1. This is the Christopher Virgin variant. This is going to be part of the giveaway on April 20th. This is X-Men #1 Magic cover. So that is part of the giveaway that we're going to be doing. Beautiful cover. This Christopher a negative space variant version cover. And then we have the Vampirella. I think this is 670. Let's take a look. It's the 1 in 10 Perillo Ultraviolet. And this is Vampirella number, I don't remember, 671. That's right. So Vampirella 671. That's the Perillo 1 in 10. It's the Ultraviolet 671 Virgin cover. So sick cover, bro. We're going to throw that in there as part of the giveaway, April 20th. And then there's another cover here, which is pretty sick. Exclusive cover. This is from Frosty Mug Comics and More. So Cimarron Frost Giants. I might be saying that wrong. Cimarron. This is the Peach Momoko. This is limited to 250. This is 208 out of 250. And this is actually the glow in the dark. So what's cool about this bad boy is it actually glows in the dark. It's limited. It's #1. It's from Frosty Mug Comics and More. Cool, sick cover, glow in the dark, Peach Momoko. Just a couple that are going to be included in the giveaway. It's not complete. We're going to shoot a separate video that's going to show off all the books, but those are the 3. So like, comment, subscribe, and then hang out on April 20th. And U.S. only. Unfortunately, sorry, Chris, I can't send those out to you to Canada.
Screw this show,
nothing
man.
political. This has to do with money. Love Canada. But just U.S. only. And, yeah, hang out, man, and get a chance to win those books. So thanks, guys. And the link's in the chat. If you guys want to hang out, go ahead and jump on. We'll be here for a couple more minutes, and then we're pretty much done for the day. So thanks, everybody, for hanging out. Yeah, Luis, they are the glow-in-the-dark covers, man. I love this cover. It's one of my favorite Peach Momoko's covers. It sits here in the living room. It's one of the ones that I show off. So I'm definitely going to include it. It's one of my favorite covers. I love it, man. At nighttime, it literally does glow in the dark. You just shut off the lights, bro, and this thing looks fucking beautiful at night. Really cool. Yeah, Chris is hanging out. CMS Comic Vet. We got Darth Lopez. eBay international shipping is easy and cheap. Yeah, I might have to work on that, Darth Lopez. Good looking out. And Darth Lopez has a show that's going to be starting here pretty soon. I think like an hour or so. So he's going to be sitting down with Circumcision and doing the circumstance thing. So our guy is going to be hanging out doing his one-on-one. So check out Darth Lopez. But yeah, guys, I appreciate you hanging out. It doesn't look like anybody's going to jump on, show off any books. So, that's tomorrow. Okay, my bad. Sorry, I thought that was today, Monday. Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Thank you
I'll
guys for
show you
stopping
some
by.
books, Ray.
Oh, you got some books to show? Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'll show you
Let's see
some
what we got.
books. This is literally just a snowflake that's on the tip of the iceberg. That's of my collection. And I'll be honest, I hate following people that have AF-15s. I can remember the video that C released. God, I feel like it's maybe 2.5 years ago, where he talked about where he was on tour and he picked up his Amazing Fantasy 15. So, my man, I need you to know that I do watch your stuff as well.
Okay, I appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. So, when it comes to my comic book collection, I do have a fondness for beautiful covers, and Joshua Middleton did a variant cover for Batgirl 23. I think this is one of the most beautiful covers of simple pastel work and paint work that I've seen in a very long time. So I had to pick this one up. Even though I don't read Batgirl, but sometimes there's just artwork that just kind of stops you and you're like, I kind of need that in my collection because, hey, when talented people do beautiful things, this is the result. So Batgirl 23 was just one of those covers I thought was just spectacular. Then, like C, I've read books throughout my entire life, and I've been fortunate enough to hold on to a lot of them. And one of the books that I read as a young kid, I think I was 14 at the time, was The Killing Joke. So I always make sure that you have special stories somewhere in your collection. Don't be afraid to upgrade them either, people. So this is The Killing Joke in 9.8. Hands down, one of the best single read Batman stories that you can get your hands on. That's still affordable because it's probably at the 25th printing at this point. One of my favorite artists as a kid growing up was Arthur Adams, and recently, 2022 in Toronto, he came to Fan Expo. So I had him sign the new Fantastic Four issue #1, featuring Wolverine on the cover. So I had a chance to meet Arthur Adams and get him to sign this and show some love to Arthur Adams. Just because, hey, like, if you're a fan of the X-Men in the 80s and the 90s, then you know exactly who Arthur Adams is. And then I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this Canadian, but his name is Todd McFarlane. And
Yeah, a little bit.
yeah, so again, as a hardcore ASM fan, my introduction to Todd McFarlane was much like everyone else, and that was ASM 298. Previously, I did notice some of the stuff that he was doing with Batman and the Incredible Hulk and that. So I did decide to send an earlier issue of his run on The Amazing Spider-Man, which was a solid run. So I sent this one into CGC the last time he had an in-house signing. I believe this was during Christmas of 23. Yeah, during Christmas of 2022, went into winter of 2023. I did get the T. McFarlane. For those that are curious about his signing style, I don't really care. This is my second Todd McFarlane autograph.
I like that custom slab. That's dope.
What issue number is that?
This is 303.
Okay.
Yeah, 303. Back when you get the direct edition, where he would still do that little, the little doodle that would represent the direct edition instead of having that barcode there.
Cool.
And as I mentioned, I thoroughly love the United States, and every time I have an opportunity to go down, I try to spend as much as I can to support that local economy. And I went to Heroes Con. The first time I went to Heroes Con, the book that I was hunting was The Amazing Spider-Man Annual Issue #1. I found a real low grade of 0.5 CBCS, but this is the first appearance of the Sinister Six, and so I was happy to have this. I think I paid in the neighborhood of somewhere between $300 and $400 for this, just because I wanted to have it to help complete my ASM 1 through 50 run that I worked on, which I do
That's
not.
a 0.5? That's
This
like
is
the
I
best
was about to say that. A
0.5
point
I've ever
five.
seen.
Yeah, but
Does it have a back cover?
yeah, it's complete, but it's a square bound book, so it's not a normal type of comic book. It has, I don't know if it's been cleaned or pressed, boys, but it might be that type of book that would benefit from it. But I'm not that guy that just picks up a book and then cracks it just to reslab it. I just wanted to have it in my collection. I've been through the book. I have read it. I've read a facsimile, so it's cool to know how the Sinister Six gets together and you know why they're after Spider-Man, that kind of thing. And I'm glad that Craven's there. Craven is my favorite ASM villain, by the way.
Yeah, he's underrated, but yeah, he is a dope villain.
The ASM annual issue #1. And again, I'm not fortunate like CMS is to have AF15, but I have a silver medal, and that is ASM issue #1. Mine got tagged by Stan. The last time that he was in Toronto before he passed away. They did promote it at that fan expo that this will be his final Canadian appearance. And sadly, now we start to know what they were doing to him and how they were treating him. At the time, I was over the moon in my glory that I finally had another chance to be in front of Stanley and thank him for Spider-Man and thank him for everything that he helped create that I enjoy thoroughly through this great American medium. But yeah, he signed it for me in black. It is a larger one, thankfully. He did sign this September 3rd, which is my mom's birthday, 2016. So 2016 was the last time Stan Lee graced Canada before he passed away just, a short while later. But yeah, that's just, like I said, that's just a tip of the iceberg when it comes to my collection. I am a Spider-Man fan. I am a Spider-Man collector. I worked on 1 through 50. I'm not a completionist like CMS, who worked on the Fantastic Four in short 2 issues, but CMS, my man, I'm sure your wallet hates you as much as what my wallet hated me when I was working on 1 through 50. But
believe it or not, though, I don't spend big money on books. I don't do that. Whoa, what happened?
And sometimes low grade is absolutely better than no grade. That's why I went with that 0.5. That's why my ASM 1 is a 2.0, because low grade often is the best way to go. But that's just a little bit of this. And Ray, thank you for the forum, my man. It's very kind that you decided to have this type of special for your Sunday live stream. So thank you for this, man. It's nice to be invited on to this.
So Chris, do you still have that Hulk 180 Mark Jeweler? I seen one of your videos when you won that thing. Do you still have that, or you got rid of it?
So I traded that particular issue for ASM 2 in a low grade. I think my ASM 2 is a 3.0, the first Vulture.
Okay.
And so I ended up trading that one for that, just because at the time, see, that was in the middle of the COVID boom. So everything was just skyrocket high. Everything was out of control, out of proportion. And I know that everyone here, including my man here, knows all about the COVID bubble was just insane to live through.
Yeah.
But I was fortunate enough to where a guy was just like, you know what? I'll do this for you straight up kind of thing. And they were both at the time around the same value, around 2 to 2,500 US. And at that point, that was then my second last book to finish my 1 through 50.
Yep.
And
That's the way to do it. Don't spend big money.
And that's just it. That
Yep.
happened to come out of a $80 mystery box.
Yep.
And yeah, it was hard to let go of a Wolverine book like that, such an important Wolverine book. But sometimes your own collection has to be bigger than what you think a sexy book is, right?
Right. Especially with these new hot books, because that's what I do. When
Yep.
something that's killing the children got hot, I had about 25 of them. I sent them in, got them graded, sold them all, and then I'll buy the big books I want. But I'm not gonna take money out my bank and spend big money on books. I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, I've
Gotta be
pre-ordered
flipping something to get
Yeah.
something.
And I get it. Something's Killing the Children is so special too. So I'm sure it was a little painful letting go of some of those Eric Epper's books. But yeah, that's what a tremendous independent that is, though. Let's be honest, right? But yeah, good for you for pulling the trigger at the right time. I've got the Frizen variant, the Jay Lee variant now, and then the cover A.
Yeah,
so
all mine are
I'm
gone,
good.
Except the two I showed. All mine are gone.
Yeah, I sold them all too. I got lucky with that because I was pre-ordering. I had learned how to pre-order right before the pandemic, so I had already got wise. So I remember where I saw it, but I started pre-ordering. I got lucky. I had all the variants. I had all the reprints. The only one I missed was the Jenny Frizen, the white. What do they call it?
That white and red blood splash.
No, the white. Yes, the white well. They call it the ghost or whatever it was.
Here.
They call it. Like in
I
the
have it.
film.
Just give
The
me a
only
second.
one I-
Give it to you, boys.
He said, "I have it. Just give you a sec."
Yeah.
Huh?
I don't mess around when it comes to something.
98, all of that shit, bro. The 1 in 100. The last one I sold that kind of hurt, but was the bathtub cover.
That's number 4 or something like 3, the 1 in 25.
Yeah,
something like that. That was a good one.
The reprint, the second print,
or the second print or something. It wasn't the A cover though. I remember it was another printing or something.
She's in it's the interior of the book, so she's in the bathtub.
Mm-hmm.
I
remember that cover. Yeah, that was a hot book.
Yeah, that's the last one I had gone to, bro. I had the decal. I remember picking that up, and I knew that they would drop, and I loved it. But my intent at that time was to get money for 181. But I'm gonna be real, bro. Bill, that shit just went to Bill, man. I mean, I'll be honest. Like, damn, I'm like,
I know, man.
Ooh,
I know.
There we go. There it is.
Yeah, I had that. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a black and white one though from Sanctum. They had a over 300. It was a with a blood splash, and they had the foil too.
Yeah, the black and white version of this one. Yeah, so this is the unlocked variant, and the one you're talking about is that super exclusive one as well.
Mhm.
That's a great one. And the other one I was talking about is So I have the normal blue label for that one, and there we go. This is the Jay Lee variant as well. Basically, the cover B.
You don't have an A cover? You got all them other ones.
Yeah, the A cover I have raw.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The Jay Lee, remember the spine ticks, the spine breaks in those?
Oh yeah, like this.
Yeah, mine's came with that bad, dude. Because I bought the 1 in 25 set.
Mm-hmm.
So I got my LCS does it that way. So you get the 1 in 25 and you get every variant.
That's great.
Yeah, those Jay Lees, that's the only one I couldn't get. I had mine pre-screened. The Jay Lees were the only ones that came back. They were denied because they weren't 9/8, but all the other covers I got 9/8. Those Jay Lees, I didn't get a single 9/8 on them.
Yeah, and that's the first appearance of her. I don't know what to describe the animal, the creature, electrolyte. That's like the first cover of her monster in the doll with the Jay Lee. I don't know. But look, I wanted to show. First of all, thank you guys for your service. I'm a fan. Razor, you're my homie. And Terradome, thank you.
I appreciate you. Welcome to the show, brother.
Thank you for letting me use Terradome, bro. I appreciate it, big dog. Thank you for letting me use it. But I gotta show love to one of my favorite female characters.
Oh, here we go.
First appearance of Carol Danvers. because I am a huge
Nice.
fan, and I always like to, say that.
Mhm.
I just wanted to show my girl.
Shut the front door.
Can we just stop for a moment here with Darth Lopez there and just spotlight
Yes.
how good Darth Lopez looks?
Oh, I know what I'm
Rocking that
doing.
Buffalo Bills, Hello Bills Mafia.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Buffalo fan.
It was,
Let's go.
and yes, it was intentional. Yes, of course. Yeah. So NYX, you know what I mean?
Save it for football and comic books, gentlemen.
Yes, I am a Buckeyes fan, though. Yeah, I'm a
Okay.
Buckeyes fan.
OH.
OHIO, baby.
All right.
I've been there for
UCLA,
homecoming.
UCLA. Yeah, I just wanted to pop on and
No, bro. Thanks for stopping by, man. Appreciate you. It's been a while since we caught up. So yeah, thanks for stopping by, hanging out. Everybody's got their own, busy schedules. So it's cool. We all get the moment on Sunday to hang out and take a day to show off some sick books, bro. So cool, man. Thanks for stopping by.
And I appreciate you inviting me, Razor. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
I've been on for the whole hour too. I didn't think I would make it,
Yeah, man. Right? We made it.
Razor was the one that put me hip to your channel.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was like, man, you got to watch this guy. And like, who is it? And I went, bro, and I was like, oh, dude, instant. Like, I get all this. I get it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That Terror Drone, bro, that shit just like. Feels, bro. It's like, oh, dude, I gotta borrow that respectfully, right? So,
I appreciate it. No problem.
Yeah.
I didn't, I don't get there. What's that, Razor?
Yeah.
I got this from my guy Derek Neiman, man, as part of the AOK package that he sent me.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the legend, the untold legend of Batman. So it's number 1 through 3. And it's the full series in the Treasury size, bro. And these are so fun to read, man. Like, for a guy like me who can barely see when he reads, it has all the original ads inside. Check this shit out. This is dope, bro. Shout out to Derek, man. Look how fun that is, man. Just to read this. So it's the untold story, which is kind of like the origin story of him, Robin, and Alfred. But it has all the original, like the artwork, that it breaks down like the road characters in here. So it's the 1 through 3 story. And it's badass, bro. Like once you start flipping through it, there's the Muhammad Ali ad right at the end. Is that sick or what?
Yep.
Pre-order it. And then it has the cover gallery on the back.
Nice.
So this is the the Treasury side. And I was reading this, bro, and it's just fun, like the secrets of Batman, you know what I mean, where it breaks down the fucking the Batmobile and all the secrets and shit. So real fun to read. Got it from Derek Neiman. Shout out my guy. I was reading that earlier, drinking my cup of coffee. Has all that original artwork blown up, Treasury size. These are fun to pick up, I gotta admit. I'm not a new comic book day, but I do like picking these up, man. These are dope.
Well, speaking of that, I just happened to what you just showed. There's the OG.
You got it. There it is.
There's the OG.
There it is.
And all of these are like in near mint condition. Here's my Fantastic Fours. Of course, I have all of them. I saw
Shut the front door.
And I said, let me pull these treasuries out. So I have all the Fantastic Four treasuries they ever had. But that Superman Ali, that's the OG of all of them, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's the OG of all of them.
Where do you get those friggin' the cover, the
top loader? See, I have
the top loaders for the Treasury size.
Well, actually, this top loader is actually for Life magazine. Remember Life magazine?
Yeah.
So that's you can buy them in packs of 10s, and those are the only ones that'll fit the treasuries.
That's right. The Sports Illustrated ones are too small.
Because I couldn't get them graded, and I don't like having my books just sitting there, especially these treasuries, because it's very rare that you find one in 9.6 or 9.8 condition. So I put mine in these Life magazine top loaders to keep them protected.
Those are badass, bro. I got to get me some of those fucking top load. I never seen top load. I didn't even know they had bags and boards for them until I got one from Derek in the bag and board. I'm like, dude, they make bags and boards for these freaking huge ass comic books.
Yeah.
Yep.
Damn, Derek, you didn't see bags and boards?
So I do want to spotlight one more.
I think you can be a collector and a flipper, Comics Embrace. I don't think that you have to be one or the other, man. I think that most people
Sure.
I think that most people, when comic book says, wait a minute, you can't be a collector and a flipper. He's joking. But most people that get into the hobby after a while, it just kind of comes natural to sell a comic book or two. I mean, I didn't think I would
Amen.
ever sell a comic book or two.
Yeah. Hold
I'm
on.
definitely one. I'm definitely a flipper and a collector. I'm proud to say I'm a flipper. I don't have no problem with it. Dirty flipper. I don't care.
Sir, I will. Yes. Okay. Of course, I found $100, $200 books for $1, $5, and if it gets by, it gets by. Oh well, priced your books. And then when you sell it, you put a hot variant back on the market, right? So if you look at it that way, you're kind of doing service to the comic book collector. Because if I find a variant that's, let's say, $50, you know, somebody will buy it that wants that book. So, you know, it's kind of a service.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of a service. I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm sorry, Chris. What do you got there? Sounds like you got something cool in your hand there, my guy.
Yeah. So I like to, when people ask like, what kind of comic book reader are you? I always say I'm actually second generation comic book reader. My father was a comic book reader when he was a young kid, and my father really enjoyed comic books of the American West and cowboys and that kind of thing. And he passed away back in 2009, and I found one of his books from his collection, and it was a classic Turok book from the 50s. I had that book clean and pressed, and then I had it slabbed because when my dad passed away, I actually didn't have that many things of him. A short while later, after that slab came back, I found a short stack of some of his great American Westerns, and a book I just actually had clean and pressed that was his that's going to be getting slabbed soon, just because I wanted a comic book that would represent him and his reading style when he was, 9, 10, 11 years old. It's Gene Autry and Champion, and this beautiful Dell painted cover of Gene Autry's horse. And I had the book clean and pressed. Now, it was dirty, surface dirty, I don't know if this book was outside and that kind of thing. It has seen better days. It does have a large color breaking spine tick here and a few other spine ticks. But just one thing I can say about comic books, certain books you can get very sentimental about, but there's also the books like this one that can actually link you to your heritage. And my father, who raised me to be very pro-American and to enjoy the medium, this is one of his books. So at some point in the very near future, probably later this summer, I'm hoping to have this book back somewhere between a 2 to a 4 in a CGC slab. And so for those that are out there, if you're a first generation comic book reader and you have little ones, introduce them to the medium the best that you can, because hey, not everything that binds people to their parents is something that people can be proud of. But this is one thing I can say I'm proud to say that I'm binding to my father about, that we're both comic book readers.
Yeah,
Thank you.
beautiful.
Well,
Absolutely,
what year is
that's
that
beautiful,
book?
bro.
What year is that book? Do you know?
54.
54.
Well,
Wow.
Yeah.
And they pressed it absolutely. I don't know who you use as your presser, because I'm not I'm no expert by any means, but I do know one guy who works at the comic book shop who is a presser, and he only does modern. And there's a different guy that does the golden age and silver age, and you have to be like expert in pressing golden age books because it's completely different than cleaning and pressing a modern book. So to get that looking that good, man, whoever your presser was did a great job, bro. It looks like brand new.
Yeah, there's a lot of trust that went, like he had the guy, his name is Scott. He's up here in Canada, obviously. His company's called Hot Off the Press, and he's done a handful of books for me already. So I really wanted to see his talent and his skill level before I would turn over one of my father's books to him.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I did say to him, like, this is not your average book. It may be a dollar bin Western or whatever, but it's worth $1 million to me. So I need this book to be treated like one of your own children kind of thing. But it wasn't necessarily so much the pressing part. It was the cleaning. I really wanted to bring this gorgeous artwork back to life. And that's what it was for me. It was to get rid of all the surface dust, the dirt, the fingerprints, that kind of stuff that was there.
Because it really pulls out that painted. Yeah, the horse bucking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It really pulls it. It looks nice, bro. Yeah, good job, man.
Yeah, and that's what that was about. Oh, how great is this series?
Look at this guy right here. That's what I'm talking about.
So I want because I'm lazy, I work, I'm tired, I'm old, my kids drive me crazy. but I'm gonna send you A-OK. But you know what I'm sending? The majority of it is for your daughter, right? But I found this.
Oh, thank you, bro.
I'm gonna send you this.
Oh, holy smoke!
I think it's a trade paper. Was this qualified as a trade paperback?
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't have that. I don't have the Death in the Family. Yeah,
Well,
bro.
How you do, my friend?
Hell yeah. That's sick, brother. I appreciate that, man.
Yes,
Let's
sir.
get
Shut
out
the
of
fuck
here.
up.
Out of here with that. That's cool, bro. I appreciate that. Good looking out, man. See, that's all love, man. That's all love we do around here, bro. You know what I mean? We joke around, have fun, we play well with each other, you know, call
It's
Chris
tough.
bald and rub his head, but it's all for love, man. You know what I mean? That's all we do. It's all love.
Son of a bitch.
Hector Ortiz. Good afternoon, fellas. Good afternoon, everyone. Hector, the link is in the chat, my guy. If you want to join and maybe show us a couple of your books off, you know, show and tell portion. We made it the hour, so we it's all just extra time now at this point. Hector and Derek stopping by. Beautiful story, Chris, right? That's what's good about cool about the hobby, man, is that showing off the book and having a story behind it, not just like my ass, but it's just like, check out this sick cover, man.
No, but
there's
that's
actually
okay
something
too.
attached to his book that he has.
But that's okay too.
Stories now,
Yeah,
bro.
you're right.
Now, you know what I mean? You know, once you find what you really like, because I had 30 years, but I did have my 80s, and so when I came back to the hobby in 2015, I more or less knew I love X-Men. Star Wars brought me back in because of Disney, yada yada yada. So, and YouTube and my bad, I'm a key collector guy. All that was ready made to help you fast track with the hobby, YouTube, and all that, and that helped me a lot early on before the pandemic. I
did download Key Collector. I have been using that now because I always used to hip comic because I'm just used to just taking a picture of something.
Yeah.
But I noticed that you get more detail like on the Key Collector because you could just type in like, you know, Spider-Man or whatever. And it'll show you all the fucking keys of Spider-Man. Yeah.
It's good for certain things, and other things like nah, not really, right? I use it more as a database. Like to see the books that are coming out, like a quick sample of what you need to find, stuff like that. But I don't spec anyway. I'm a reader, speculator. I read what I read, and if a book in there gets hot, if it don't, it don't. So it's more about the read for me. But
yeah, I'm still reading old shit, bro. I'm just barely read Infinity Crisis. Lisa Noble, welcome to the show. We appreciate you, my guy. My guy. I appreciate you, Lisa. Thank you for stopping by. I'm so used to saying that. I don't mean disrespectful. Thank you for stopping by.
Welcome to the fucking show.
Lisa has, let me tell you, everyone, Lisa has a great Instagram page.
Yeah.
If she has if it's privatized or not, but her collection, like her new books and stuff that she picked up, Lisa is second to none. Like she has a great modern collection of books.
Yeah,
like
she's
one of the best people to follow. Like if you're on Instagram and you like just to see some sick covers, she is definitely one of the people that you should be following because she does have some sick covers. And check out her eBay store too. Her eBay store has some pretty cool deals there for some Mark Spears artwork. So yeah, take a look, man.
Yeah,
Comic and Break, shout out Lisa, and using one of the cool emojis that you can pick up if you pay $2.99 for less than a cup of coffee. You too can have the Chola emoji, the little homies Chola emoji, and that's one of the comic books that I am actually actively hunting in the dollar bins.
Oh, the homies.
Is the homies, and that's why I was going to ask you, Chris. I'm thinking about going to Heroes Con, right? Now that I have you guys on the panel, all you gentlemen here. I'm not a comic book convention guy. I only go to a couple of them every once in a while here in Phoenix, but I've been told that Heroes Con is a good place to go to pick up comic books. Like if you want to go digging for comic books, you could go to Heroes Con and actually, because it's not like there's like a lot of celebrities or panels and shit like that. It's mainly just people selling comic books. And that's what I want to do when I get out there is I want to go and dig. So you guys tell me, is that a good, is it worth me flying down to, I don't even know where the hell it's at. Where is this place at?
Charlotte, North Carolina.
Charlotte, North Carolina to go dig for, for basically dollar books. And I'm not going to look to buy like major grails, to be honest with you. My budget is $40 max. I won't spend more than that on a comic book. So I'm looking to dig. Is that a good place? Do you guys recommend? It's actually a good investment to fly down there, and I could probably dig and pull out some pretty good books.
I don't know if C or Darth have had the opportunity to been to Heroes, but I've been to some big cons in my time, and C would probably nod his head. I've been to the Motor City Comic Con dozens of times. I've been to C2E2. I've been to Fan Expo Toronto, which is like, it bills itself as like the third or fourth largest Comic Con across North America right now. And then there's Heroes Con. Heroes Con, the one thing I just said about Fan Expo, C2E2, those two cons are pulp culture cons. They call themselves Comic Cons. People need to be aware about that lingo.
Yes.
Heroes Con is a Comic Con. There are no Hollywood celebrities there. There are no TV actors from Battlestar Galactica. There's none of that stuff. There are creators, writers, and artists that are there. But this is, pound for pound, the largest, most truest Comic Con in North America. It blows anything Canada has out of the water. It blows anything California or New York State has out of the water. It's second to none. The only one that may give it a run for its money is Baltimore, the Baltimore Comic Con, which is very similar in its stance that it's a Comic Con, not a pulp culture con. You're not going there to meet the star of Spider-Man. You're not going there to go meet some MCU actor. You're going there because you are a comic book collector. And if you are looking for hardcore books to find, like Love and Rockets, Heroes Con is the one for you. If you're looking for ElfQuest, or you're trying to fill the Burn FF run, stuff like this, this is the con. Now, don't get me wrong. It is not cheap to stay there. The hotels are not cheap. You are literally in the middle of an area that is gridlocked by hotels. So it's not readily available to go find cheap places to eat like McDonald's or something like that. You are going to save money on books, but it's a little bit more expensive when it comes to eating and staying there. I've been there twice. I'm hoping to go this year again. It'll be my third year in a row. But when it comes to comic books and comic book creators, when I say it is second to none, you can take that to the bank. If you have the opportunity to go to San Diego or Heroes Con and you are about comic books, don't waste your time with San Diego.
Yeah.
If you want to go see, if you want to see Tom Cruise or you want to see The Rock, don't waste your time with Heroes Con. Don't waste your time with Heroes Con, because what you're looking for is a pulp culture con, not a Comic Con. And if you traveled anywhere across this continent or even around the world, there is a distinct difference between the two. And that's the one thing I like to communicate with people who talk about Heroes Con. Like, is Heroes Con worth it? Are you into comic books, or are you into seeing celebrities? And what I mean by celebrities is people that have been on TV, people that have been in movies, that kind of thing, directors, producers. Then you need to go to Pulp Culture Con, go to Fan Expo, go to New York City Comic Con, go to San Diego if you're fortunate enough to get a ticket. But if you want comic books, don't waste your time with those other cons, because those cons have maybe 15 to 30% comic book dealers versus everyone else that's on the floor. You're going to have toy people there. You're going to have people selling swords. You're going to have movie studios setting up the Batmobile. You're going to have stuff like that. But if you go to Heroes Con, it's 90% comic books. 10% creators. You may have one or two Lego places, something like that. And you are few and far between. There's nothing like Heroes Con. That's why I travel, and I'm not afraid to spend $400 or $500 or $600 on a plane ticket and only be there for 3 days, 2 days technically. Yeah, because it is something else to behold. And there's so many wonderful community members that go as well. So it's nice to see some faces. It's nice to shake some hands. It's nice to have a conversation and make Heroes Con more than just the convention itself. You sit down and break bread and shake hands with other people of the community. If you're into that kind of thing, if you're not, then so be it. But if you want to go to a real Comic Con that's enormous in spectrum, Heroes Con is the one for you. Find a way to get to Charlotte. Find a way to find a hotel or Airbnb or however it is that you need to stay. Even if you're on the con floor for 1 day, Go enjoy it. But you won't be able to do that con in just one day. I promise. You're going to need a weekend to get it done.
Hey, you got me pumped up, bro. Like that was like, I'm hyped now. You know what I mean? Like I want to go book my flight right now.
Oh, eat ramen noodles for 2 days, bro.
Yeah. Whatever it takes, man. Whatever it takes.
Una.
Have you been, Darth, to Comic-Con, to Heroes Con?
No, so my wife took me right before we left California to, I forgot what it just happened actually.
WonderCon.
WonderCon. And in between my environmental work, I did this union gig where we would set up shows like that. And I didn't even know I set up for the Anaheim one. Whatever con is in Anaheim. The only one I've been to is C2E2, and they're not for me. I think it's what Comic Vet said. It's just a bunch of nothing. You get no deals. You know, the wall books. Look at my kids. The wall books are the wall books. Like you get no discounts, right? And I flipped through books. It was stuff that I could have got anywhere. You know, it was all priced accordingly. So, short answer, I'm not a con guy, bro. I would go more to hang out with community members than I would go to look for books.
Gotcha.
I'd probably go to hang out for the environment to experience what it's like to go to a con with comic homies.
Right. You know? It's kind of like a concert kind of vibe, right?
Yeah.
Where you're hanging out with everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I don't drink, so I could be a designated driver. You know what I mean? I'd probably go locally to see what the food's like, honestly, you know?
Yeah.
There's a lot of stores in the Chicago area, bro. I can go hunting and digging over a lot of stores out here. So cons aren't really for me until I experience it with.
Yeah. See, there's there are pros and cons, right? Like, I mean, literally, like I was thinking the same thing, like, because what I'll probably end up happening is two things. I'm either going to go down there and dig strictly comic books for the 2 days I'm there, or I'm going to run into people like Chris and we're going to end up drinking somewhere at Denny's or some shit. And then I'm going to, you know,
slam, baby.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to end up not digging. And then I'll be like, oh shit, I just blew a couple $100 at the bar or whatever. And I could have did that back home. So it's one of those two that's going to happen. You know what I mean?
Or you had a good experience out of town with the comic book homies, bro. You could look at it that.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Or just the experience. It's just how you look at it. What you want to get out of it.
Have you ever been to a Comic-Con, Razor?
I've been to Fan Fusion back like when it first went from the Phoenix Con to Fan Fusion, 6 years ago or something like that. And I did not. It was too much. Like me and my daughter went, and it was too. It was overload. It was like real sensory, like it was a lot, bro. Like it was too big, and it was big and it was crowded. Like it was weird. It was big, but it was crowded. So. For me and my daughter, it was a little much because she does, the sensory overload. We kind of had that issue, and she did not enjoy it as how much as I did. I kind of walked around and kind of was doing my filming and enjoyed that. I didn't do a whole lot of digging, to be honest with you. It was more the cosplay people and just looking at everything. Looking at the new toys and looking at the new shit that's coming out, the plushes. All the new Sonic stuff. So I didn't do any digging. It was looking at toys. It was looking at cosplay. It was looking at Sonic. And then we got out of there because she couldn't do it. It was like, it was too much. So we came back home and then we ended up just going to a comic book shop, Collector's Marketplace instead, because, it's more quiet. It's chill. We can walk around. So I didn't really enjoy it too much. It was tiring. And to be honest with you, bro, I'm a big guy. So I only have about 2, maybe 3 hours, right, of digging and being on my feet. And at the Comic Cons, there's like literally no place to sit down unless you go to like the food court area or outside and smoke. And then you walk back in or you go to your hotel room. So for me, I would only be there for 2 or 3 hours because I get tired, man. I got to go back to my hotel. I got to smoke. You know what I mean? I got to eat. I got to freshen back. I got to take another shower, put another shirt on. So I can't be there all day, man. I just don't. I can't do it. So I need those breaks. So that's the other part for me is like I have to have those. I can't just be at the con for 12 hours, man. I got to come back home and fucking, decompress.
That's where I'm like Darth. I go to cons. I only go to cons when I can get in free. I always know somebody that's being an exhibitor or something. And I can get free. I'm not paying to go to C2E2. So if you see me in any con, I got in free. But I prefer the little small local shows, where it's just the smaller comic book dealers. And it's all comic books, because when you go to these big cons, you got the people walking around in the robot costumes and the swords and the Furbies and all, and all that stuff.
Baby strollers.
I'm just there for the comic book. So, but I'll go if it's free. But I don't, I really don't enjoy those cons. You probably never see me, hanging out at a con because it's not the same. Give me a small show any day, a small comic show any day.
Right. Yeah. That's the only reason why I would go too. Like my friend George for the 757 Hustle show, he gets the reporter, the reporter, I don't know, badge or whatever it is, where you get the entry because you're a reporter or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way I would go. If for somehow I got labeled as a reporter.
You can apply for it. You got like 1,000 some subs. You get an exhibitor's badge or a press badge, but you got to pay to park, then pay to get in there, then pay for water, then pay. It's not.
We had two different views. Like I was asking him, hey man, you want to go with me to meet up at Heroes Con and we can shoot some video, do some interviews, hang out, shit like that. He's like, I'm not sure if I want to go because he likes to go to the cons for the different reason why I do. He likes to go because he likes the celebrities. He wants to go see, the Goonies, the panel. He wants to go see the new movie. He's there for the celebrities, for the cosplay, for all that. Where I'm not. I want to go and I want to go dig, maybe hang out, meet, some people in the community like you gentlemen and have a beer and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not there for, to go to Hall H or whatever the hell it is. That's not what I'm there for.
That's me. Yep.
So he's not really looking for Heroes Cons. Like, I'm not, if you go, I'll go, but I'm not really looking forward to it because there's nobody there. I'm not going to see any, there's no panel, there's no, there's no actors or anything that's going to be there. So it's two different crowds. So that's cool to know that if you're going to Heroes Con, be looking to dig through some books. If you're going to go to San Diego, there's where you're going to find your actors and your
all that
panel
movie stuff. Yeah, that's not comic books anymore.
Yeah,
I don't even know how to call it Comic Con. It's not even a Comic Con anymore. So
that's why I said Pulp Culture Con, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, they call it Fan Fusion now. They changed the name out here in Phoenix because it wasn't a Comic Con anymore. It's a whole different animal, man, which is cool because it brings in a lot of kids. Because you notice once you like gravitate to where the comic books are, there's a shift in the people. Like when I was with my daughter, we're hanging out in the anime section, we're looking at the plushes, we're in the video game section, all young, right? Younger crowd, family, kids. Okay, I'm gonna go dig for some comic books, right?
Then you have all this empty walkway that you can move through, right? Yeah.
Bunch of middle-aged, sweaty old men, backpacks, quietly looking on their phones, whatever app that they're using. And my daughter was laughing because she's like, "Okay, I'm gonna stay over here." I'm like, "All right, you go." I talked about this in one of my shows that's people like a lot of the LCS owners. They cry about, hey, whine about how come we're not bring it in, you readers. Well, have you seen what you're out here? The people that come into the shops and how the atmosphere, it's different, man, than how it is with manga and anime. They present it where it's more family, it's younger. Where we go in there, it's all older guys that are complaining about the latest issue, like me, of Hush. You know what I mean? My daughter doesn't want to be around that.
It's funny you said that. I'll say this and then I got to get going for dinner. It's 20:07 my time.
Thank you, guys.
But I got to get out of here too.
But my LCS has it set up now. If you want the new comic book day books, you have to walk to the back of the shop. You're walking through the anime. You're walking through the manga. You're walking through the action figures and the statues to get to the comic books at the back, because young people, when they come in, he wants them to see it as soon as the door opens. And that's how he gets them, right? As opposed to the comic books are up front and then that's all they see and they're not into that. They're looking for the manga and the anime. And that's right there as soon as that door opens. So he's got to figure it out. But yeah, that's how you get the new generation.
Yeah. But all right, man, I got to get out of here. I appreciate you for inviting me on. And I'll see you around. I'll be watching your videos too, Chris.
Thanks, CMS. Thank you guys for stopping by. CMS, sub them up. Chris the Comic Vet, sub them up. Thank you, gentlemen. We appreciate you. Have
All
a
right.
beautiful day.
I'm out.
Thank you, sir. I know you got to get going. I appreciate you stopping by, man.
Ray,
You're
thank
awesome.
you. Ray, thank you on behalf of CMS and myself. Thank you for doing this. We appreciate it, my man. I know he had a balance, but yeah, it was kind that you decided to do this. And thank you for the invitation, man. It means a lot.
Appreciate you. Thank you for your service. Enjoy your weekend. You want me to remove you?
My bad. Good night, everybody. Hit that thumbs up on the way out, everyone.
All right, man. That was awesome. A couple legends in the game, guys. Stop by, having a great time. Best of the best of the
We're here
best.
because you're looking for the best of the best of the best, sir.
That was awesome, man. I'm glad that I had those two gentlemen on. It's fun to talk to people in the community, especially people that served, that were actually in the military, that served, guys like me that play around and fucking wear a bandana and, go on PUBG. And, I love PUBG. I still play Players Underground Battle, whatever it is. I don't even know what it's called. That's still one of my favorite games of all time. Yes, I enjoy having them on. It's interesting to me that people that served in the military collect comic books, man. It's just interesting to me. You wouldn't think that people that are in the military, that's one of the things that they collect, and it actually goes back to the early days, right? World War I, II, or whatever it was when they were reading comic books, the golden age of comic books. So it goes to show that that comic books stand the test of time, man. Even during wartime and peacetime, comic books is something that we all kind of come around and that we all gravitate to as collectors, whether it be for the stories, whether it be for flipping, whether it just be for the love of the hobby, man. That's what we all gather around and hang out for. And I hope everybody enjoyed today's show. Thank you for stopping by. It's a beautiful Sunday, so go out, have fun, enjoy it with your family, spend time with your family, show them the hobby, reach out to somebody about reading a comic book and just share it. That's how we're going to grow this hobby together. Thank you for everybody stopping by today. Thank you to my guest, Chris the Comic Vet. I salute you, sir. Thank you for CMS the Comic Vet. Please take a look at their channel, sub them up. And until next time, check you later.
Some say love, it is a razor that leaves your soul to bleed.